YouTube. Welcome back. I kind of want to give a little channel update on where I've been and kind of everything I've been going through, especially in terms of the trading world, kind of going from there, and then what to go over for the future and kind of where I'm at with everything. So I actually watched a kind of like an inspirational video about owning a YouTube channel and creating the content that was dedicated for things that you actually want to make, as it's your channel, your ideas, not necessarily doing it in like short form or doing it for other people or anything like that. And especially the ideas that you'll have behind the videos and the reasons for making it. It really resonated with me in the sense that I want to make things that I want to produce for myself to have. That way it can benefit the people who need it. And not doing it to cater to anybody or doing it for views or anything like that. Really just doing it for kind of my own desire and making the topics like things I want to talk about. So definitely will be trying to do a different approach in terms of like the video topics. Order block video will still happen. But just that whole idea of determining what will I make, what will I talk about and everything like that. I really want it to be something that I can do and what I want to discuss, and that way I know it's coming from the heart and it's something that can hopefully resonate with especially people that are trading and everything like that. So, and especially going through today, the people that know, I lost my stuff on oil. I was longing this, even though it was, even in hindsight, it was clearly on the sell side of the curve. I was consciously aware that it was on the sell side of the curve. FVGs, sweeping highs, you only stop out shorts to go short. Huge order block here, right? 50% mean threshold, everything like that. So I essentially caught myself just bag holding the thing all the way down, especially because I entered around 11:01. So even after seeing this candle on the sell side of the curve, you can pretty much, at least for me, I was able to anticipate an immediate crush or basically the next candle's low, taking that previous candle's low. So like this up close here, taking that low, up close here, taking that low, that type of thing. So I really ended up bag holding the position all the way down to here, even though I was consciously aware that the market was poised to go lower, but I didn't do anything about exiting my long or let alone shorting. And going through all this and kind of the whole, about 3.5 years now that it's been, I realize this is one of the big things that I myself just need to work on, especially when trading and just kind of in life in general. So making sure that I'm playing what is in front of me in the present moment, all that good stuff. Because I really am losing a lot more than I need to, especially for how early I was able to see, okay, by the next candle, this one, it was pretty much already wraps for the longs in all honesty, and then going through these last two down close, it was just sheer panic and dread and whatever else you would, just denial of like, oh, I don't think it's actually gonna. Actually, I kind of take that back. I knew it was gonna go lower, but I didn't do anything about cutting the position, and I just let it hold, and I got margin called at the bottom, and then it moved afterwards, which I thought was pretty funny for how far it moved. But that was what I was looking for anyways in terms of a long setup. But yeah, playing what the market has for me is really the thing I just kind of want to focus on from here on out. And then, like I said, making topics on things that I want to talk about, which I do like talking about trading and everything like that. But making it my style, not making it any specific way or trying to cater to a specific crowd. Especially that was kind of one of the things that really sat with me with ICT was just the length of his videos, and even though they would be filled with some rubbish, definitely mixed in to kind of weed people out. I don't necessarily want to do that, but I also don't want to try to smash everything I know into a 5-minute video either and say, here you go, here's a one model fits all. I do disagree with that pretty heavily. So it's really, in terms of like what I'm going to be uploading in the future, is really just going to be the things that I want to talk about, kind of what I want to look for, and just go from there and really make it about, it sounds not to say selfish, but it might sound weird to say to make it about me, but to make the videos about the things that I want to talk about purely. Of course, if someone wants something, by all means, but not letting the idea of like views or the relevancy of the video, the comments, like none of that has even before I started YouTube or even this channel, that never mattered to me in the first place. I wanted to, the whole reason I made this really was to help clear a lot of ICT and just technical analysis in general. I did see a lot. No, there are some good people out there, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of stuff that I really disagreed upon, and I really just wanted to clear the air on and do it how I see this information for it. So that's really what I kind of want to do in terms of the channel content and making it, the length I want to and the format I want to, and not necessarily doing it for, like I said, anybody else. And even if it's a long form, that's what it ends up going to have to be, but that also give me the time to provide all the value that it needs in it as well. So, but that's kind of just a quick little channel update about what the future is going to be holding in terms of like the idea of videos and the type of them and everything like that. So, and like I said, just making sure I'm not making these type of trading errors and being willing to hit the button if need be, even if it's to get out and not only just to enter. Because the one thing that really has sat with me this whole time is, say for example, there's about $250 in the account. It was about $290 when the trade was entered. The whole idea of like not trying to realize the loss or always trying to be right, to avoid that loss, to avoid the drawdown, whatever in the account. Even though that may have been the case, if you just get margin called at the end of the position anyways, you're still realizing a loss. You're just realizing the loss by force, and it's also a much, much larger loss than what it needed to be, right? Because if I'm entering, I think the fill price was around $84.90. To hold me to that, like $84.90 for the fill price. You're talking getting out at $84.35. That's 55 points right there that I basically took an underline, when in reality the trade could have maybe been 20 to 30, if that. Even if I sold at 70, you're talking a 20 point in the underlying loss, because all of this, like I said, by the time this candle especially, I fully consciously knew market was poised to go lower. So holding through all of this extra movement here was just a waste of underlying and a waste of capital. And the whole reason I was even trying to do that was just to avoid that loss. But I'm also seeing that there's really no benefit of that either, because you end up realizing a loss at the end of it anyways when you get margin called, and then you lose up even more than what you had before trying to avoid something. And so there's really one of those Douglas things, you end up creating the experience you're trying to avoid, and the whole idea of like manifesting and everything like that, which we can talk about in the future. But I think for right now, that's really my biggest thing with trading, especially because the reading in terms of like the direction and everything, it's gonna sound cheesy, but it's like probably well over 85% of like directional bias and correct and everything like that, just like how I'm reading it. Besides admittedly this sell off today, because I was already margin calling, that was upset. But in terms of the market maker model, the entire weekly profile, just everything, it was all there. And so like I have no problem seeing that, or even reading like intraday moves, like the short that people know I was talking about when it happened, or even the long here from Wednesday. Like I have no problem seeing those types of moves and taking them. It's when on the off chance that they don't work, I am basically refusing to cut it, and then it just steamrolls and takes all the losses, or all the wins I should say, away, and then just crushes it all. So that's kind of just where I'm at for now in terms of trading and just the journey, because I've really been doing it for almost a little over 3.5 years, almost. Yeah, over 3.5 now. So, but I realize that's like the only thing that's kind of stopping me, if you will, from like the actual profitability, quote unquote. So it's really just seeing this part of it through and making sure I'm able to act on whatever I'm seeing, even if it's really, really hard to exit, and about taking action. I was also watching some videos about like a thinker, like if you're a deep thinker, how you not taking any action can end up being a trap and everything like that. So that'll be for another video for sure. But as of right now, yeah, the topics, the daily recaps will probably fade, even though they already admittedly did. Probably won't be too many of those unless people just kind of want the hindsight lessons behind them, which I do agree they are useful, because you have to learn in hindsight first before you can even get any type of foresight for what this thing can do. But there's a lot to it as well. So like I said, for me, when I first did this channel, that was the whole thing, was I wanted to clear the air on like things I know, and like what I've learned from ICT, as well as some couple other people, and then not necessarily to dunk on everyone else besides those few people, but really just to clear the air about what is out there, especially in the smart money space in terms of the YouTube area. The Twitter's pretty much getting cleansed by you know who, Turtle Soup guy. So he's doing it there for sure. But I think for YouTube, I just like the video format, and as I said, especially that video that I did watch. I'll be sure to link in the description also. Honestly, it really did inspire me to make the channel about the things that I want to discuss, and not to make it about me, but to allow myself to be in the most like real and like authentic way possible for the people that are watching it, so the people that do decide to watch it help resonate it with it better. Doesn't feel like just like some ICT cheese or something like that. I don't know how to explain it, but that's kind of where I'm at for right now. I'm not sure what the next video will be, to be honest. I do want to make it soon just because of timing and everything of this video, but we will go from there in the future for sure. I'll see you guys in the next one.